Hey guys, it's Adam with WebStarts.com. In this short video, I'm going to share with you 3 design principles that will help you create a better looking website. Before I get into the video, be sure to tap the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you'll be the first to find out when I release a new video on web design, internet marketing, search engine optimization, and similar topics. Before we get started with this video, I also want to invite you to go to webstarts.com and sign up for an account. That way you can follow along with the video. It's really easy. Just click on Get Started. It's free. And the next step, you'll select a design. And then, of course, you'll provide the normal sign up information. For example, your email address and choosing a password. I've already set up a WebStarts account, so I'm just going to log in to an existing account by clicking Log In. I enter the email address and password for the account that I would like to access. And the first thing I see after logging in is called the dashboard view. For this video, we're going to be working in the page editor, which is where you actually make edits and changes to the pages of your website. And to get there, I hover over the thumbnail to my website and click Edit Site. This first page that I'm on is the home page. And so we're going to be talking about the first design principle, which you can see in action here, and that is emphasis. The design principle of emphasis is all about drawing the attention of your site visitors to a specific element on your page. Here you can see I have a headline statement that says Get Started, and I have a button that says Continue. And those things really stick out as the main things on this page. And that's because I'm emphasizing these design elements. So let's talk about 2 ways that you can call that attention to those elements and create emphasis. The first way is to surround those design elements with plenty of white space. That simply means don't place a lot of other design elements too close to that element so as to distract the eye from the element that you're trying to call attention to. So if I crowded this button and maybe some of this other information or another paragraph of text or something like that up into this area, it's not going to make those design elements stand out. It's actually just going to clutter it up, and at a glance, the person looking at the page might be a little bit lost or unsure what they're looking at. The other thing that you can do to create emphasis is create those design elements in a larger size than the surrounding elements. So for example, I'm using text here, so I'm using a very large font, and then just because this text underneath of it is a little bit less important, it's quite significantly smaller, so you know that this is the main statement to focus on. So that covers it for emphasis. Really a simple concept: surround design elements with plenty of white space, oversize the elements you want to call attention to. That's pretty much creating emphasis in design. The second design principle is called repetition. And to show you that, I'm going to navigate over to the About page of this website. And I'm going to scroll down the page a little bit. So the first design principle was emphasis. We talked about that. Now we're talking about repetition. Using repetition in your design will help your site visitors feel like they're on the same website when they're going from one page to another page on your site. And it will also help them feel like they're on the same website when they're scrolling down your page. And this is because when you use repetition, you're creating an underlying continuity or connection between elements. So here you can see I have 3 images of different things, and I have 3 paragraphs of text, and I've essentially applied a theme to these images. I'm putting them into a circle instead of a square, so I'm using circles here. And then I have a certain font size and a certain for the headline or the heading, and then I'm using another font size for the paragraph of text. And then I've just repeated that sequence across my page. An easy way to do that in WebStarts, by the way, is just to click on the duplicate element tool, select the element, and then just click duplicate, and you'll be able to duplicate an element, and then you can just drag it wherever you want it to appear on the page. You can do the same thing with the text, for example, there. You can see me do it there. All right, so that covers the design principle of repetition. And there's some other things that you can do to create that repetition, some shortcuts. I'll show that in another video. But let's talk about the third design principle, which is balance. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more past this section on repetition, and I'm just going to talk about balance. So down here, design principle number 3, I talk about balance. Balance is the distribution of visual weight on your page in an even fashion. So you're just trying to create balance by distributing the visual weight of different design elements on your page. There are a couple of different ways that people create balance. There's symmetrical and there's asymmetrical. Symmetrical is when you just create a mirror image of a design element. So even in this photo itself, you can see that it's essentially a mirror image. One of the pencils is yellow and then the background behind it is yellow. The other one is blue and the background behind it is blue. They're facing opposite directions. That's really using symmetry in order to create design. And then we're using symmetry on the page as well by creating essentially a mirror image in terms of using a photo of a certain size, using a headline of a certain size, text of a certain size, and then just facing it the opposite way on the next section of the page. The asymmetrical balance is created like in this image where you're taking design elements, you're drawing a center line down your web page, for instance, or horizontally across the page, and then you're just distributing different design elements that have different weights in a way that it equals out or creates balance on that page. So again, imagine that there's an imaginary line cutting through the middle of this photo. They've got roughly the same amount of visual weight on both sides of that imaginary line here in this photograph. And then likewise, you do that on your web page. So for example, if I put several icons and other things all in this corner, but I leave this corner up here completely blank, that's not going to create balance. So what I'd want to do is duplicate those elements and spread them out equally across the page. Okay, I hope you found that video helpful. Just in review, the first design principle is emphasis. The second design principle is repetition. And the third design principle is balance. By using those 3 design principles, you're sure to create a better looking website. All right, don't forget to tap that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Go to WebStarts.com to create your very own free website, online store, or blog. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.